While war raged in the south and the rangers of the north were absent, brigands and ruffians took an opportunity to wrest control of Bree.
Hail and well met friends, Andang and Pineleaf here to walk through the Skirmish system, show you guys some cool content.
Greetings everyone.
Alright, so me and Pineleaf decided it'd be a good idea to give you guys a look through basically of the Skirmish system and looking at each skirmish maybe eventually, getting an idea of what's going on.
In this case we're doing Thievery and Mischief, where you're attempting to free the people in Bree.
Yes, and it's during the winter time, showing off Bree during the winter.
Yes, this is based on an incident that's described by Bartleman Butterbird near the end of the book, where he talks about how the brigands the brigands attacked around Yule time, right after a big snowstorm.
Yes, and it's actually a pretty, well, it's not a terribly important part of the book, but it's a pretty big moment, I'd say, for at least this side of the world.
Whoops.
Alright, so we're taking out these early guards here at the beginning.
Now one of the aspects of the skirmish system is the soldier. So what type of soldier are you using?
I'm using a herbalist.
The herbalist in question is the one in the back.
Yes. And I actually have him in the Rohirrim outfit that you get with the Legendary Edition. And I guess other editions too, right?
Yes. You get it by ordering the expansion. Though in this case, while I use the Rohirrim set for some of my characters, for my hobbits I tend to use a hobbit.
Which is very fitting. Now we just claimed that first base, and so now the enemies are counter-attacking here. Which is a pretty common thing in assault skirmishes.
Now we were playing this on Bullroarer right now, so that we could both have access to our high-level characters.
And to also check and see if anything changed with the skirmish system, which I don't think it did, but you never know.
There were some minor fixes, but nothing really major changed that I could see.
And we're doing this on Tier 2, because Tier 1's just too easy for Pineleaf.
Well, if you've been sitting at Cap for a while and have very good equipment, Tier 1 becomes quite a bit easy.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I usually run Tier 2 or 3 on solo.
Now there was a point where I was running Tier 1s on Arkenstone, mainly because I was trying to do all the encounters, and I was more concerned with encounters than anything else at the time.
Alright, yeah, that makes sense.
So if you're wanting better marks and medallions, you do tier 2s, assuming you can survive them.
Right, and I mean, if it takes tier 2 might not be better if you don't have as good DPS as far as time goes, because it could take you, you know, significantly longer to do a tier 2, and that kind of loses the point of doing it at that level, because then, you know, it'd be better just to do tier 1 to get the marks.
Yeah. So the question is, are you looking for challenge? Are you looking for marks? Are you looking for experience? Or are you looking for something else?
And Skirmish has actually changed depending on what tier you have them at, how many people you have in the group, and obviously what level you run it at. And so they really feel different each time because they have a random aspect to them.
Now I haven't noticed any real difference in this skirmish between 1, 2, and 3. Except, of course, the enemies are tougher.
And the boss fight, but other than that.
Well, the boss fight changes based on the size of the group. I haven't noticed too much in tier, though.
I thought on tier 3 when you solo it does change. I might be completely wrong there, but
What? I didn't notice it, but then sometimes they sneak in something.
Clearly these brigands don't know who they're dealing with.
Yes. They thought everybody else in the town was soft, so why not these guys? Bill Fernie didn't warn them, apparently.
Yeah, clearly they don't know what Rohirrim and Rangers look like.
Now, unfortunately, we don't have automatic tapping in skirmishes like you do in Rohan.
Yeah, I was really surprised that there wasn't a change with that. But I mean, at least you don't have to loot every single enemy in skirmishes. That makes it a little a little bit more reasonable.
Yeah. I just sometimes have players who keep on forgetting to loot a lieutenant that drops something.
Yeah, I've been in the same position.
Ooh, it is nice that those debuffs disappear at the end of the battle.
Ooh, yeah, that is nice.
Because wolf debuffs are really nasty on live right now because they last forever.
Yeah, and they steal your power like crazy.
So being able to get rid of those debuffs is real nice.
Yes, it is.
Now I'm not too sure about using about using yellow on a signature mob in a duo skirmish.
It's mostly the habit, because on Imladris, for some reason the groups that I'd run with always required yellow no matter what else we might need. So that's just a habit, I guess.
Let's see.
Alright, cleared the haunted alley.
You've got pretty good power management there because your power's way up and mine's way down.
Yeah, mostly because I'm in fervor stance.
Ah, yes. I don't know much about champs.
Fervor gives, I mean, look at the power buff on Fervor. It's almost 2,000 to power regen, which is just crazy.
Right. And mine is only 500.
Plus I have a power skill as well that I pop every now and then. And currently on my champ, while I am in Fervor stance, most of my extra traits are actually area of effect, so that I can take out these multiple mobs that run at you in skirmishes a lot easier.
Oh, wait a minute. We missed an encounter.
Oh, hey, we did.
You got so caught up on talking that I forgot we had that very first encounter at the beginning.
We did, that's right. I forgot all about that too. And encounters are a really cool system. They're usually randomized every time, so that there's a different encounter that happens, so you never know what you might get. And they're a great way to earn medallions and get extra rewards from the skirmish.
Alright. This particular encounter is notorious for being missed, simply because you get it right at the start of the counterattack at the auction house. And by the time you finish with the counterattack, you forget that you got the encounter.
Yeah, I've actually had that problem as well, where I get to the end of the skirmish and I've only done one encounter, so I go back and look and see what I missed, and it's usually this guy.
Ooh, I'm actually able to hold him against the champ. I've never... Brannick always manages to steal the aggro from me.
That's because I'm mostly AoE traded, so
Yeah, so is Brannick.
so
Maybe it's because I'm better traded on here than on Arkenstone.
possibly. That's probably it.
That's what happens when you've got 375 Wardens.
Yes, that would do it. Whenever I run across the map like that, I always like to make sure my soldier's still following me, because sometimes they have pathfinding issues.
Yes, actually, they seem to have improved over the
Yeah, they
last year. Especially in this skirmish. This skirmish, it used to be really bad.
Oh yeah, it used used to always, especially if you had a non-hunter or healer, where they'd be out in front running out to get aggro.
Alright. Now this guy gets a shield on him, so... I have to take a pounding from him for 20 seconds before I could really do anything to him.
Yeah.
And that's the pounding.
It's always a kind of annoying part.
Now this guy may be yellow. Oh, he had different ideas.
Still aggro from you there.
He's about to die. Now, in a duo skirmish, you have the same number of mobs that you have in a small fellowship. But the mobs get a debuff on them so that they're weaker than they would be in a small fellowship. Thus helping to balance it out.
Yeah, and that's actually a smart way to do it, I think. It's a way for them to easily scale, more quickly and easily scale stuff.
Oh, wait for the counterattack. We certainly don't want any ads from the next area.
Yeah, I'm a champion. I like to take everything on at once.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Now, the Frigid Squall is a rather nasty character.
Yes. Especially when you get into larger groups and they have those devastating AoE attacks.
Oh, he gets it into duo, too.
Not as often, I've found. I mean, it's not as devastating. It's
Well,
still pretty terrible, though.
yeah, well, that's because it's cut by... It's only 2/3 of the full attack.
Yeah. I've had an entire group wipe once because of an AoE from him.
Ooh.
Different ideas again. Alright, we're gonna do red from here on out. Alright, let's give a little bit for health regen here.
When a tougher fight, sometimes I may consider green or blue instead.
Yeah.
But you seem not to need it that often.
Well, it helps having that healer and the champion power regen.
True.
Plus my my herbalist also has a power regen skill as well. So that helps even more.
Alright. Let's take care of the... Oh, these guys, yes. An entire army here. Oh, don't tell me we've got snagbers too. Yeah, we did.
I still have a hard time getting used to seeing seeing a level bar on after 75. Keep forgetting I'm on Bullroarer in a skirmish.
Ah, you're wondering, hey, how am I getting XP? Now, earlier I asked you what soldier you had. I didn't bother telling anyone what soldier I had. Now, if the fact that she's shooting arrows doesn't tell you the answer, she's an archer.
It could be a champion soldier. You never know.
Well... Alright, Hawkeye Harrier. You get some lieutenants in a duo skirmish that you do not get in solos.
And I believe to do those deeds, you have to do all the different group sizes and tiers, right?
Well, there are 41 different lieutenants. Which ones are available is based on the group size. So there's some on the other end.
Yep.
There are 14 of them that are available in solo. 13 more that are available in duos. In addition to the 4, because in a duo you can get the ones that are in a solo or new ones, and those are 13 new ones for that. And then in full fellowship and in raids there are 14 more for a total of 41. So if you look at the deed panel, you'll see that there are 42 entries because for some reason the Courage Breaker and the Will Breaker, which are a twin lot, I only count them as one lieutenant, but they're counted separately for the deed.
Okay. That's interesting.
I guess they wanted to have 42 entries.
Nice even number there.
Well, I was thinking of the answer.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see if Flax can get in before the gate closes. Alright. You take the orc, I try to take the leader, if it's not too late.
Okay. There you go.
That's what happens when you try to talk when you're preparing.
And this boss fight can actually be really hard when you get to larger groups, knowing how to manage it. Usually you almost always want to take the orc out first, I've found, and have the other person hold aggro. Have one person hold aggro on the other guy.
Yes, and when you get more people, they get a healer when you go to full fellowships, which makes it even tougher.
And do you usually take out the healer first, or do you still take out the orc when you do the full fellowship?
Oh, the healer first.
Alright. I've seen it done both ways.
Well,
it's a lot harder the other way, I believe.
Trouble with full fellowship ones is they tend to be the ones that you do the rarest, because you're able to more easily get a raid together than a full fellowship for skirmishes, at least in my server.
Alright.
Because people went to do raids for the special raid rewards.
Yeah, that's also the case on Imladris. I have not seen too many raid skirmishes on Landroll though. I could just be looking in the wrong place though.
Or it could be the nature of Landroll.
It could be.
Ooh, alright. We got a heritage rune and 2 relics.
Which is a pretty good deal. Is the I think that might be a little bit increased being on the beta server. I don't know. Could be wrong.
Well, I have a feeling it's because it's between being a duo and tier 2. Because sometimes I can get 2 items in a solo tier 1, so therefore it's certainly not outside the normal realm.
Alright, and is there anything else we'd like to add on this skirmish?
No, you just, after looting the chest, remember to loot the chest. You talk to the NPC and you're done.
Alright, and I think this is a good place to end this video, so thank you guys for watching our first little look at skirmishes here. We plan to do this several more times as we continue on.
And thank you for listening.
Alright, and goodbye.